Welcome to My Trucking Life. This is Ace. Join me on my journey into trucking. I'll show you the ropes as best I can. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything, but I'm going to try and learn as much as possible, and I'm going to try and pass that along to you. Whether you're interested in the career, whether you're already in the career, or whether you just want to see the country with me. I hope you decide to join me, and I'll also be doing some stuff at home. Good thing I'm in the gazebo. that was intense. That was like 1,000 feet away. All right, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. I thought I'd be able to drive in an hour, but my calculations are wrong. It's an hour and 40 minutes before I can drive, so I'm gonna lay back down, get a little more rest. It was hot, so I was sweating, so I had to turn the truck on. Normally at night when it's dark, I like to leave the truck off because I feel like I get better rest when the truck isn't running and the AC isn't drying me out. But right now I'm sweating like a pig. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop and get a shower probably midday today. My load assignment has me fueling it at the pilot in Illinois, so I'm gonna try and get a shower then. Yesterday at the shipper, kind of had two things that happened, which I'm probably gonna have to call. I'm probably gonna have to call my driver manager on one of them. The other one's just par for the course. The first thing that happened was the lady told me to drop the empty trailer in the gravel lot, which I did, and then I went to pick up my loaded trailer, and the loaded trailer had been dropped in kind of like a hole. The trailers, a lot of times when they have loaded trailers, they'll have if like it's a asphalt lot, they'll have like concrete footings that the landing gear sit on, and this part of the yard was damaged, where the landing gear was on of this trailer was on, and also there was like a foot of standing water by the landing gear, and the problem was the landing gear were like lower than the rest of the ground, so the front of the trailer was below my tire level, so there was absolutely no way I could get under the trailer. Okay, so I walked over to the guard shack, and I asked the lady to get the yard dog to the yard jockey to lift the trailer up, whether it be lifted out of the spot or jack it up, because they have. I'll try and put a picture up here of what a yard dog is. I currently at this very minute don't know how to do that, but I'm going to try and figure out how to do it. If not, I'll cut to a still picture of it. But anyway, if it is here, which I hope it will be, it's got a thing on the fifth wheel that's like hydraulic, and it'll lift. It can lift up the trailer, which makes it very easy. So I asked her if she could get the yard jockey to come around and lift the trailer up so that I could get under it. And she didn't really seem to understand what I meant, which was kind of weird. But anyway, she said yes. So then she walks out to where the trailer is, you know, because I'm standing there waiting for that to happen. And she asked me, you know, if I brought in a loaded or empty trailer. I said I brought in an empty trailer, and she says, well, did you park it along the fence? Because you're not supposed to park it along the fence back there. And I was like, I didn't say anything, you know. I just said, yeah, I parked along the fence. And she's like, well, they're mad because you did that. You're not supposed to do that. So can you go move it? So I said, sure, you know, no problem. She, you know, she didn't give me those specific instructions. She just said, park it in the gravel lot, and that's it. So I went back and I moved the trailer. I'm not, you know, I didn't make a big deal about it, but honestly, if you wanted something done and you wanted it done a specific way, you should ask for it to be done that way. Okay, it's just my opinion. Still, I mean, I went and did it. It's not that big of a deal. So then I get back to I go get it moved and get back up to the loaded trailer, and nothing's happened. Nobody's come around. She said you know, the yard jockey would come around and get it out for me. So I'm like 15-20 minutes later, a yard jockey comes by, and I try and flag him down. He kind of acts like he doesn't want to stop, right? Okay, you know, I get it, he's busy. Then I explain to him I can't get under the trailer, and so he gets back and he starts to back under it, and it's even low for him. And what happens is, as he's going under the trailer pushes back, and at that moment that the trailer pushes back like a foot, he starts to go off on me, like blows his top, and he says, you need to tell Schneider to have the drivers lock the tandems. Okay, I wasn't in the best vantage point to see the tandems, but when I look back, as he was yelling at me, I could tell that the tandems did not move. They were still in the very back position. And he didn't give me a chance at that point to tell him that. So he gets all bent out of shape, right? And this is something I'm going to have to call the DM about, because this is showing me that this customer is having problems either with us or with drivers in general. And Schneider is doing what they can, I believe. Maybe they could do a little more, but in the message of the load assignment, it says to slide and lock tandems. So, you know, if you ever get that message, it's important that you do put the pin back in and make sure it is locked, because when they try and back under a loaded trailer, what'll happen is the frame will slide on the tandems, right? And it can push the trailer into another trailer or into a building, or there could be someone behind the trailer that could get crushed, which, you know, I don't know, it could happen. I mean, I've heard of people getting pinned before, but so anyway, that's kind of getting a little off subject. No, I guess it's not getting off subject, but it's just making it a little more. Okay, let me get back to his reaction and how I try and diffuse the situation. I said to him, I understand your point about the tandems being locked, but that is not the case in this situation. If you look back, you can see that the tandems have not moved. So either the brakes are out of adjustment and the brakes didn't hold, which is my first thought, because I couldn't see the tandems when he got under the trailer, because I didn't feel like it was a safe spot for me to be like right up next to the yard dog and the while he's backing under. So I wasn't able to see, but the other thing that could have happened is because he had to use so much force to get under it, it could have just been the tires lost grip and slid. Like you could drag a trailer with the brakes locked and very easily. So he looked and he said, "Oh, okay, I see, but it is a big problem." I said, "I understand," and Schneider puts a message in the load assignment saying to lock the tandems, and I'm sorry, but sometimes drivers can be drivers and they don't read the message fully, or it's like I don't know how to solve the problem. So then he was like, "Well, crank the landing gear down." I was like, "Well, it's still in a foot of water." So he ended up moving the trailer out to where it needed to be, so that I could. Actually, I didn't have to lower the gear. It was just because it was in that hole that I couldn't get under the trailer. Long story short, but anyway, I got under the trailer, got going, and got here, parked. So I'm gonna go back to sleep. I gotta weigh the trailer. There's a CAT scale here at the pilot that I'm at. So I gotta weigh the load before I get going. I'm kind of lucky that the scale house is closed because, well, I thought this was the first CAT scale, and there was a CAT scale about 10 miles back at the QT, but I wasn't planning on staying at the QT, so I thought I'd make it to this pilot and get the load scaled. But anyway, I lucked out that the scale was closed, the DOT scale, because I don't know. I'm not always able to see where all the scales are. I guess you're really supposed to look at like an atlas and do the trip plan that way. And I don't always trip plan to that extent. I guess I've let technology kind of get the better of me, and I use the GPS to just tell me where to go. So anyway, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get a little more sleep, and I don't know if I covered the microphone. I'm gonna get a little more sleep, and I'll update you later. All right, so here's my weight. I'm very heavy on my trailer axles. I got to move this. I got to move 2,000 pounds from here to here. So in order to do that, I need to slide my tandems backwards, because you always slide towards the problem. This needs to be under 34,000 pounds. So if I move 2,000 pounds up, that'll make that 33.8. So it's kind of weird because the last trailer I had, it didn't follow this rule, but normally each hole equals 500 pounds. So I have to move the axles back four holes. So I'm gonna go count and then slide the tandems, and then I'm gonna reweigh. Alright, now that I have the trailer slid, the tandem slid back, I need to pull around and give them this number for a reweigh. And I'll get my new scale ticket and find out if my weights right. It should be right, but last time I slid the tandems I was picking up a load of beer. It was only moving 250 pounds per hole, and I thought that was only the smaller, the ones that have holes that are closer together. But it seemed to be the same hole pattern as this trailer has. So we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, this is the reweigh. Apparently I need to move it another 4 holes. It's strange because the weights always move 500 pounds per hole for me, but now all of a sudden it's only moving 250. So anyway, I gotta move it again and rescale it. Make sure if you like this, you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, please. It helps me out a lot. And don't forget to turn your notifications on. Make sure you hit that bell so you know when my video is uploaded. Whoa, there's another strike just like behind me. Hopefully I get back into the hotel without getting hit. If not, you'll never see this.